Anyone who's interested in security is also interested in quantum computers. These computers can crack almost any code based on digital technology. That's why the FBI, the CIA, and all national governments are following this closely. A hidden facility, shielded behind Microsoft's public face, may be experimenting with quantum technologies. These technologies may go far beyond what we understand as science today. Some say it's not just about faster computers, it's about global power. Today, we're diving into the claims about Microsoft's secret quantum lab. What it is, why it matters, and how it could reshape science, security, AI, and your daily life. Microsoft's public quantum facilities at Station Q in California and labs in Washington and Denmark have made headlines. But what if these public centers are just the surface of something deeper? If Microsoft controls unbreakable cryptography, does that mean they hold the keys to the digital world? The stakes couldn't be higher. Whoever masters quantum computing first gains the power to crack current encryption methods. They could also create new impenetrable security barriers. DARPA's involvement and millions in funding suggest this isn't just academic research. What does the government know about Microsoft's quantum capabilities that we don't? Where was this research happening during those silent years? And why the secrecy around a technology that could fundamentally alter global power? Hidden but documented, while Microsoft's public quantum centers get all the press, there's another trail worth following, one that's hiding in plain sight. Microsoft has filed dozens of quantum computing patents that hint at capabilities far beyond what they discuss. These patents aren't just about better computers, they describe exotic technologies. Technologies like braiding Majorana modes, quantum teleportation channels, and topological quantum error correction. These aren't science fiction concepts, they're real technologies Microsoft is protecting. One patent details methods for fault-tolerant quantum cloud integration. Why would Microsoft patent something so advanced right now unless they've made significant progress? Another describes quantum networking protocols that could form the backbone of an unhackable internet. The most intriguing patents focus on combining quantum computing with AI systems. These filings suggest Microsoft is developing quantum-enhanced neural networks. These networks could process information in ways classical computers never could. Patents are like footprints in the sand. You don't always see the person, but you know they've been there. Microsoft's patents hint at technology far beyond what's in their official press releases. These patents create a paper trail pointing to research that seems years ahead. The question is, where is this cutting-edge work happening? The gap between Microsoft's retracted Majorana discovery in 2021 and their breakthrough in 2024 leaves room for speculation. What if the public labs are just showcases while the real breakthroughs happen elsewhere? And if so, what might they have already achieved that we don't know? What do you speculate Microsoft is developing behind closed doors? Share your theories in the comments before we unveil our findings. Microsoft's official quantum research occurs at 3 known locations. These include Station Q at UC Santa Barbara, the Corsi Group in Redmond, Washington, and their development center in Lyngby, Denmark. Upon closer examination, these facilities reveal some intriguing characteristics. Satellite imagery of Microsoft's Redmond campus shows several windowless structures. These buildings are not just for office work, they serve a more sensitive purpose. The Lyngby facility features massive rooftop infrastructure. Such industrial-grade cooling systems raise questions. Why would typical office buildings need cryogenic cooling unless they are conducting extraordinary experiments? Quantum computers operate at temperatures below deep space, just above absolute zero. The scale of cooling equipment suggests capabilities that exceed public acknowledgement. Yet the buildings only tell part of the story. There is a puzzling gap in Microsoft's quantum research timeline. In 2018, Microsoft announced a breakthrough involving Majorana particles, exotic quantum states that could transform computing. However, in 2021, that claim was dramatically retracted due to experimental errors. Following this, Microsoft fell silent. Then suddenly, in 2024, they announced the Majorana 1 chip, a fully functioning quantum processor. This chip utilizes the very technology that had previously failed to be proven. What transpired during that gap? Some believe an undisclosed facility was responsible for bridging that silence. The leap from failure to breakthrough in 3 years implies intense work. If this technology was hidden for years, what exactly were they constructing behind closed doors? The patents and specialized buildings suggest extensive research. The timeline gaps indicate research beyond what Microsoft publicly shares, with DARPA funding their quantum efforts. The stakes are incredibly high. Staying ahead of these groundbreaking discoveries is crucial. If you want to keep updated, hit that subscribe button. Microsoft's quantum work is not solely about scientific discovery. It's pivotal in a new global arms race. In February 2025, DARPA announced Microsoft as one of 2 companies selected for the final stage of its US 2QC program. This public partnership represents millions in government funding. However, what classified contracts might exist behind the scenes? Defense analysts have noted that Microsoft's topological qubits could revolutionize military applications, from drone intelligence to code breaking. We are witnessing the approach of what experts term quantum day zero, the moment a quantum computer can break RSA encryption. When that day comes, whoever controls this technology will wield unprecedented power. Microsoft warns of a scenario they call harvest now, decrypt later. Foreign adversaries are already capturing encrypted communications, waiting for quantum computers powerful enough to crack them. If quantum day zero arrives, years of secrets could be exposed in an instant, altering the landscape of global security forever. Right now, your bank account, medical data, and even government communications are locked with codes. A quantum computer could snap those locks open in mere seconds. Imagine who controls that power. This isn't just theoretical. Microsoft has launched a public quantum-safe initiative to upgrade cryptography across its products. They're preparing for a world where conventional security no longer works. And here's the twist. Microsoft isn't just racing against Google or IBM. They're racing against entire nations. China has invested billions in quantum research. Europe has its own quantum initiative as well. The first to achieve quantum supremacy doesn't just win scientific acclaim, they gain the ability to see what others can't, to know what others don't, and potentially to control critical infrastructure worldwide. If Microsoft's topological approach succeeds, it won't just be a corporate victory. It could determine which nation leads the next technological era. And according to Microsoft's own claims, their Majorana 1 chip shows a path to practical quantum computing. They aim for results in years, not decades. More than just scientific possibilities, Microsoft's quantum research could unlock applications that sound like science fiction. Yet they're based on principles physicists already understand. What if the secret isn't just about building better computers, but about creating entirely new capabilities? First, consider quantum AI agents. While today's AI models require massive energy and data, quantum-enhanced neural networks could learn in ways classical systems never could. These systems might process information differently, not just faster but fundamentally smarter. The combination of Microsoft's quantum hardware with their extensive AI research could create intelligence that makes current models look primitive. Ask yourself this. If Microsoft is already testing quantum AI, what would that mean for every other AI model today? It's like racing cars when your competitor is flying a jet. Then there's quantum sensing, perhaps the most underreported application. Quantum sensors can detect minute changes in gravity, electromagnetic fields, and even time itself. This could enable navigation without GPS, seeing through walls or detecting submarines deep underwater. Quantum radar could track stealth aircraft that conventional systems miss completely. The third frontier is quantum communication. Using entangled particles, Microsoft could be developing networks that are fundamentally unhackable, where information teleports instantaneously across vast distances. Any attempt to intercept these communications would immediately destroy the message, making surveillance impossible. These aren't just lab experiments. If such applications are being tested, it explains why secrecy would be essential. A company that masters quantum sensing could render conventional military defenses obsolete. Quantum communication could create information networks outside government control. The strange gaps in Microsoft's public timeline make more sense if they've been focused on these applications. Rather than just building a better computer, their focus on topological qubits suggests real-world uses beyond the lab. But what comes next is even more disturbing. It's not just about machines. It's about control. Control and human impact. If one company masters unbreakable cryptography, do they effectively own the digital backbone of society? This isn't just a theoretical question. It's a disturbing reality we may face sooner than we expect. The human stakes couldn't be higher. Let's break down what quantum supremacy means for your daily life. Banking and finance would be immediately vulnerable. Our global financial system relies on secure transactions. These transactions are protected by encryption. A quantum computer could crack these systems in seconds. This could trigger market collapses and financial chaos. Trillions in digital assets could vanish overnight. Your personal privacy would cease to exist. Every encrypted email, medical record, and password would become transparent. Even more alarming, this wouldn't just apply to future communications. Anything ever encrypted could be decrypted. Microsoft warns about harvest now, decrypt later, meaning foreign powers may already store encrypted data. They wait for quantum computers to unlock it, exposing decades of secrets. Military systems would face unprecedented vulnerability. Nuclear command structures, satellite defenses, and drone operations rely on secure communications that quantum computing could compromise. The balance of global power could shift dramatically in days. This explains DARPA's involvement in Microsoft's research. It's not just about scientific advancement, it's about national survival in a post-quantum world. When Microsoft discusses making quantum computing practical, they're accelerating a timeline few governments are prepared for. Their Majorana 1 chip, with reportedly lower error rates, could be the key to this new reality. The question isn't just whether Microsoft has a secret lab. It's about who should control technology with such implications. This isn't a story about Microsoft versus Google. It's about who decides the rules of the future. If all our secrets, yours, mine, governments, are vulnerable, we're not just talking about science anymore. We're talking survival. Microsoft's public quantum safe initiative acknowledges this threat. They're actively creating new encryption standards that even quantum computers can't break. But who controls those standards? And who gets access to them first? Now that we understand the stakes, let's look at what Microsoft tells us about their quantum research. Microsoft operates 3 main public quantum facilities. Station Q at UC Santa Barbara is the headquarters. It was established to explore what Microsoft calls the strange space where computer science meets quantum physics. The Quar Group in Redmond focuses on quantum architectures and software, developing future algorithms. Under Krista Savora's leadership, they develop algorithms that would run on future quantum machines. Microsoft's Copenhagen facility in Lyngby conducts groundbreaking quantum research, hosting advanced labs. These public centers recently announced the Majorana 1 processor, Microsoft's breakthrough quantum chip. But what makes it special? Most quantum computers use qubits that are extremely fragile. Think of them as spinning coins that stop if you breathe on them. Microsoft's approach involves something called topological qubits. Imagine knots in a quantum fabric that don't easily unravel. These topological qubits utilize exotic Majorana fermions, particles residing at the ends of special nanowires. What makes these qubits revolutionary is their stability. Other quantum computers require thousands of physical qubits. They aim to create just one stable logical qubit. Microsoft claims their method could drastically reduce this overhead. In tests, Majarna 1 reportedly shows far lower error rates than competing designs. This means fewer qubits would be needed to achieve useful performance, bringing practical quantum computing closer to reality. Microsoft claims this chip shows a path to quantum computers with millions of qubits. By comparison, today's most advanced systems have only a few hundred qubits. The leap would be like going from an abacus to a supercomputer. Microsoft's public labs show us what they want us to see. But the patents, the gaps, and the defense contracts suggest something more. A race, not just for science, but for control of the future. The timeline speaks volumes. Microsoft's earlier Majarna claims were retracted in 2021 due to experimental error. Then silence. Suddenly, in 2024, they announce a working processor based on the same technology. During those silent years, what breakthroughs happened behind closed doors? DARPA's involvement confirms the national security implications. When a government agency funds quantum research, it's not just about scientific papers, it's about power. The secret lab may never be acknowledged, but its shadow is clear. The future of AI, security, and global power could already be taking shape behind those closed doors. Microsoft's patents point to capabilities far beyond what they publicly discuss, from quantum AI to unhackable communications. What's certain is that quantum computing isn't just another technological advancement. It's a paradigm shift that will redefine our digital world. Microsoft's topological approach may be winning the race that most people don't even know is happening. When Microsoft says their technology could scale to practical quantum computing in years, not decades, they're signaling a timeline that could reshape global security before most governments are prepared. The question isn't just whether Microsoft has a secret quantum facility, it's whether we're ready for the world their technology will create. If you found this as unsettling as we did, subscribe now. Our next video dives even deeper into the hidden race for quantum supremacy, and you don't want to miss it.